Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I am so delighted that you are here with me today. Today we're going to be talking about how to consistently show up in your own life. Probably like a lot of people, we tend to get so busy, so distracted by little things that don't really matter that we end up going into survival mode or just going on autopilot and not really being fully present in our lives. So if that's you, stick around because today I'm going to talk about how you can show up a little bit more consistently in your everyday life and how doing so can help you to have an overall better experience in life. But before we get started, we have a word from today's sponsor.
Welcome to Unadulterated Heart, where we are seeking the Father's heart with purity and childlikeness. Season 1 was our firm foundation in which God poured out His revelation as we sat at His feet like Mary. He promises that if we seek Him with our whole heart, that we will find Him, and He was not lying. Season 2 is full of powerful testimonies from fellow lovers of Jesus that will inspire and challenge you. Season 3 is going to go deep into subjects that at times may be controversial. I can promise you one thing, it will be full of delicious meat for your soul.
All right, guys, so let's get started with today's topic. How many of you do this? You start focusing on all the little tasks you have to get done in life, and you fly through the day, and then the next day someone says, well, what did you have for lunch yesterday? Or what did you wear yesterday? And you try to think about it, and you cannot remember what you wore, or you can't remember what you had for lunch, or even if you had lunch. Does anybody do that? I know I've done that myself, and I've been guilty of it. What's happening is that you are on autopilot, and you're just trying to get through every little thing that you have to get through. And that's when life sort of feels like a struggle. You just say, if I can get through this one thing, if I can get through today, then I can get through tomorrow. And when you are going through life feeling like that, like I just need to get through and finish this activity, then I need to go do this, and then I'll be able to relax after I do this. When you start doing that, that is a sign that you are on autopilot, you're in survival mode, and it's time to take back your power and slow down and enjoy your life again. So, how are some ways that you can take back that power, slow down, and be more intentional and present in your everyday life? So, the first thing that you really need to do and is important is to make a little space for yourself. Start really showing up for your life by making room for it. Make some space by clearing away time in your calendar when you can. And also, this also applies to decluttering your home, which is one that I really need to work on. But I went through the other day and I started decluttering little corners of my house, and it really made me feel a lot better. And it opened up a lot more space physically in my house. But you also need to do that with your calendar. Make room in your calendar for you time. A lot of people don't do that, but it is so super important to physically make space in your calendar for time to do whatever you want to do, whether it's read a good book, watch some TV, go for a walk, laugh and have fun with friends. Like all of that is important because that is self-care. And even if you have to go into your physical calendar and your phone or wherever you have it and block off that time, it's important that you do that and not just, once a week. No, do it every day. Even if the amount of time you have right now may not be the most, start doing it and build up to. You need to have that time for yourself. It's really, really important. Even getting rid of things that you're doing that are maybe not necessarily for your highest good. So whatever that is, maybe perhaps you volunteered to do something and it's taking up a lot of your time and it's not really bringing back anything to you. And it's really just, if it's one of those things that you're saying, I have to do this, get rid of it if you can. I mean, I know it's important to volunteer and things like that, but other people need to volunteer too. So don't take on too much. Give away some of those activities that you're doing that don't bring you joy if you can. I know that we won't always be able to do that, but there are places where you can. There are places where you can say, no, I can't really do this anymore, or I can only do this one day a week. Cut back your time, because it's important that you start taking time back for yourself. Another thing that's important is to start eating a little bit better, because when you eat like crap, you feel like crap too. And again, everything is about balance. So I'm not telling you completely restrict your diet and only eat these certain things, but it's all about balance. So throw in some things where you can. A really easy way to get good things into your body without really realizing you're doing it is to make healthy smoothies. Because in those smoothies, you can throw kale and spinach and all of those things in it, and you don't really taste it. I don't think you do. If you put more fruit in it, you taste the fruit. You don't really necessarily taste the kale or the spinach. Yes, your smoothie is green, but if it's that much of a problem for you, maybe add a little food coloring or something that makes it not green. I know a lot of people, we eat with our eyes first. So you see that and you're like, I don't want that green smoothie, but it's healthy for you. So try to eliminate sugars and grains and things that maybe cause you to feel bad every so often in your diet, just so that you can have more clarity in your life and you can feel better. If you know after I eat this, I feel bad, then, maybe don't eat that for a while or eat less of it. And again, I'm not telling you to cut everything out completely. I understand that's not reality, and some people do it, and that's great. But I know for most people, that's not a reality. You still eat fast food once in a while. You still go out to eat. That's fine. But again, it's all about balance. So if you've had a day where you've eaten a lot of crap, maybe the next day try to eat a little healthier. Eat a salad or have a smoothie. Eat a little lighter. Drink more water. Things like that, just bringing you into balance, because you'll sleep better and you'll have more consistent energy throughout the day to be able to be fully present in your life. One of the reasons I think that we just kind of go on autopilot is because we don't feel well. We don't have the energy physically to do all the things we need to do. And I can tell you that I used these LifeWave patches that are energy patches, and I thought I was pretty energetic and I was able to do a lot of things. And then I used these the one day I put them on, and I could not believe the amount of extra energy that I had, that I was able to clean and then go record a podcast. And then I was doing all of these different things and I felt great. I didn't feel drained. And it made me realize this is how we're actually supposed to feel, not this drained, sluggish energy. But many of us feel that way because we don't have a consistent enough diet, we're not getting enough sleep, we have too much on our minds, all of these things, and we're so busy. So that's why eating healthier and also eliminating the extra stuff you're doing that isn't really helping, isn't good for you. It's going to help you because it'll give you more energy. If you get better sleep at night, you're going to feel more rested during the day and you'll have more energy. And if you eat the right things, and again, it's all about balance, you eat the right things, that also helps to give you some energy. Another thing that's kind of important to us is to not be on your phone 24/7. Because what happens is we sit there at dinner with our loved ones and we're not listening to anything anyone said because we're just sitting there on our phone. Now, last night we went out to dinner. February 1st marked the birthday month of my mom, and we used to laugh and joke because she would say, I get a whole month. The older she got, the more days in her birthday she got, right? And she ended up saying, I get a whole month. February is my whole birthday month. And of course, we humored her and we went with it. And so we would go out to eat several times during February to celebrate. So we decided to go out last night and celebrate that it was February and it was her birthday month. And we had so much fun laughing and talking, and no one was on their phone. And that was a big pet peeve of my mom too, was you need to get off your phone so we can all visit and have good conversation, even though she was guilty of doing it too. But she was right. There's so many times that we go out and we see groups of people sitting around in a group all on their phones and no one's interacting. And that's a big problem. So put your phone down for a little bit because you're missing out on what's happening. Your kids are in front of you playing and laughing and you're missing it because you're on your phone. And I get it. You want to be distracted and life is stressful, so you want to just be able to get away from it all. But you're missing what's right in front of you, which is the value of human connection. And we all need human connection. So it's important that you put that phone down for a little bit. And I would also recommend putting it down at night before you go to bed. They say that you should not look at your phone 20 minutes before you go to sleep because the blue light from the phone is actually... it interferes with your body's natural circadian rhythms, which is what allows you to go to sleep at night. So if you're having trouble, perhaps putting your phone away for 20 minutes before you go to bed might be a thing. And I know if you're like my children and now me, because they've got me addicted to it too, but watching funny TikTok videos before you go to bed, or maybe you're, listening to different things on YouTube, just maybe start slowly putting that away earlier so that you can get better sleep at night. Another thing that is really important is to have a good morning routine. Having a good morning routine actually sets the intention that I'm going to have a good day. And I love that idea because I think so many of us feel like everything that happens is out of our control. And to an extent, yes, it is. But we do have control over ourselves and how we react and how we behave to situations. So if we make an effort to start our day with the intention that this is going to be a beautiful day, this is going to be a day where miracles happen, this is going to be a day where I'm so excited about all of the amazing and beautiful blessings that are coming into my life. And it's not trying to be too toxic or too positive. It's not about that. It's about our energy. If you believe in the law of attraction, the energy that you put out is matched by the universe and comes back to you. So you can put out energy that today is going to be a crappy day and bad things always happen to me. But do you feel that energy when you say that? It's awful. Why would we want more of that? So setting your intention for the day, that today is going to be a beautiful day. Magical things are happening for me today. I love my life today. When you say those things, it feels better to say those things. But that energy that you are carrying with you when you say those things is also much better. It's a much higher vibrational frequency. And when you're trying to manifest the things you want in your life, it's all about the feeling you have. It's that energy that you're putting forward. So to get all of those things to come back to you, you've got to have that high vibrational energy. And I know that there are a lot of you out there who are saying, I don't like getting up in the morning. And so I'm in a bad mood when I have to wake up because I wasn't ready to get out of bed. I get it. I am not a morning person. As much as everyone probably thinks I am because you're listening to my podcast in the morning and it sounds like I'm a morning person, I am not a morning person. I record my podcasts at night. I don't like having to get out of bed when it's cold outside or the thought of having to go to work. I am a normal human being just like you. I don't like doing those things. So this morning routine then becomes that much more important. Because if I wouldn't have a morning routine where I prepare myself mentally for my day, then my morning might look like I stumble out of bed grumpy and spill my coffee on myself, and then I become crabby, and then I start biting people's heads off when they just say good morning or ask me how I am, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. That sends out a ripple of negativity into the world. Because you choose someone else out, let's say you go to Starbucks or something in the morning and they don't make your coffee right and you scream at the little poor barista who's taking your order, and then she turns and yells at the next person in the drive-thru, and then that person has, it just really causes a ripple effect. And you just feel bad if you start off your day like that, and you have the potential to attract much more negative energy. But if we can set an intention that today is going to be a beautiful day, for my Patreon members, I created this beautiful morning meditation. And it's great because it's the kind of meditation that you just do. You don't have to be sitting with your eyes closed or anything. You just listen to it while you're getting ready. So as you're putting on your makeup or you're drinking your coffee, whatever, you can listen to this. And it sets this intention of today is a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day today. And it makes you feel better as you're listening to it. And then perhaps if you plan to do something in the morning, like I'm going to go for a short little walk in the morning, or I'm going to do some yoga, or I'm going to work out, or I'm going to drink that healthy smoothie in the morning to start my day. These are little things that you can do that don't take that much time, but they can make a huge difference in the kind of day you have. And when you are consistently doing things like that, it helps you to have more energy and more fuel and to really show up for yourself. And that's such a great thing. There's so many little things you can do in the morning. The one thing that I love is to wake up and just list some things I'm grateful for, because it puts me in the right attitude. Having an attitude of gratitude makes me focus on all of the blessings that I have instead of focusing on, I have to get up, I have to go to work, I have to do this. Change the way you talk about things. Stretch when you wake up in the morning. Stretch. It feels good to stretch out and to yawn and to all of that. Just do that. Stretch and take a few deep breaths before you even get out of bed. I also like to listen to music in the morning sometimes. And if I play the right songs, they motivate me for the day. Like I'll play a song about being a warrior and how I'm a warrior throughout my day. And that gives me a lot of energy. And it also helps me to psych myself up to have a beautiful day and a beautiful morning. Because let's face it, most of us, we don't enjoy having to wake up from sleep that we are enjoying to go to work that is maybe not that enjoyable. But we all have to do it. It is how we approach looking at what we're doing, right? Instead of, I have to go to work, I have to make money. I get to go to work. There's a lot of people who would like to have a job. I am making money, which supports me, and money serves my highest good. I can do things like take myself on a nice beach vacation when I have money. But looking at it from a different lens, not money is the root of all evil and I have all of these bills. Instead, I am so lucky and happy that I can pay all of my bills and that I have a little left over that I can treat myself. Start looking at it differently. A lot of things in our life would change if we changed the way we looked at the things in our lives. Another thing that you can do to be more present in your life is to really reflect more on things that happen in your life. One of the things that was actually a good thing when I had an hour's drive to and from work was I had a lot of time to reflect on my day or to psych myself up for my day. On my drive to work, I listened to podcasts that were motivational and inspirational, or I listened to music that made me feel good. I prepared myself mentally before I stepped into that classroom because I knew that the tone of my classroom was dependent on me. I was the one who set that tone. And if I walked in like, here it is, Tuesday, why can't it be Friday? If I had that attitude every day, it would be a horrible place to be. So I had to choose to set the tone in a different way. Like, yay, it's Tuesday. I'm so glad you're here. And some of you may be rolling your eyes right now and saying, that's so stupid. Like, that's not me. I can't be that way. That I would have said the same thing many years ago. I would have said, that's not me, until I tried it. Until I tried going in with a different mindset and a different attitude. And it absolutely made a difference all the way around. That energy that you put out comes back to you. And there are people out there who might be having a bad day. And when they see you smile and you say, have a good day, it can completely shift and change their day. And you never know the difference that you make. I've had students send me cards after the school year was over and just said, thank you for always smiling. I didn't know that made a difference in their day, but it did. Or saying good morning to me. Some students said, you're the only person who smiles at me during my morning and says good morning. and you act like you're happy to see me. It's sad, but there are so many students who don't have people that are happy to see them. At least they don't feel that way. And same with other people out there that you're interacting with. You may interact with people who don't have people who show that they care or love them. So smiling at people and saying, have a good morning, you never know what that does for someone. So be intentional with everything, with your words, with your deeds, everything that you do during the day. It's important to think about, if I say this, what are the consequences of my actions? Because we're all human. We get mad sometimes. We blow up on people sometimes. But we have to be more intentional, because words cannot be taken back once said. Even if you apologize, that person's still going to remember what you said. So it's important to be very intentional with our words and with our actions. And that's why setting a good morning routine is really a good idea, because it helps us to control those emotions. When your emotions are in check, you can think more logically and reasonably about things. So when little things happen, you don't get so upset about it. But if you don't keep those emotions in check, if you just get up and you have the day you're going to have, right? Just whatever comes, this is the day, and you're not intentional with it, those little things can really add up and start to annoy you. And then somebody says one thing and you blow up. And then you say things that you would not normally have said. And you have regret and shame that you said it. Because you cannot think logically and reasonably when you are in that emotional state. It's physically impossible. The way that your brain works, it's impossible for you to think logically. And that's why when we get upset, sometimes we scream the most irrational things at people. That's why, because we're coming from a place of emotion, not logic, not reasoning. And that's when we get into trouble. So that is why setting a morning routine and being intentional is so important, because it helps you to keep that under control. And I know so many people are under a lot of stress right now. It's very stressful. That's why it's important to take a breath in the morning, set the intention that I'm going to have a beautiful day no matter what comes. But I believe beautiful blessings are coming. Doing something like working out or doing yoga in the morning is great, because you burn off all those, tense emotions that you're feeling. You burn away the stress, and that's important. But it's also important to reflect. I like to think about what worked and what didn't work. What went well, what didn't. Where can I make improvements? Oh, today it was a pretty good day, but I lost my cool here. What could I have done differently? Life is all about reflecting, making little changes and adjustments, and trying again. We're not perfect, so we need to make sure that we're cutting ourselves some slack and being very gentle with ourselves, because you're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes. It's more about transforming and fixing and making room for growth and improvement. And that's why I love journaling. And even if you don't like writing, you can do this verbally. You don't have to write it out. You can use your phone. There's a voice memo feature, and you can use your phone and do this for a reflection. It's just sometimes good to get it out, to hear it or to see it on paper. What did I do that was really good? What went well today? How was my day amazing? And what didn't? What could be better? And then we'll start to see little patterns like, oh, you know what? I start to get upset around this time in the afternoon when my energy starts to drain. So what can I do? Maybe I can do a quick little meditation to restore my energy. They have little 3 to 5 minute meditations you can do on YouTube. Maybe you can go out to your car or go to the lunchroom, or if you have an office, lock your door and just do this 3 to 5 minute energy meditation. I think I have one on my YouTube channel, but you can just go to YouTube and search for one and restore that energy. Because, that's normal that you have high energy in the morning and it drains as you go throughout the day. You might have to do something to restore your energy. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's where the reflecting is such a good thing, because there you'll see, oh, every day at this time, I start to get crabby. I think this is where my energy is most depleted. What can I do to fix that? And maybe it's you do a meditation. Maybe it's you just go outside and take a walk for 5 minutes. I'm just going to walk around the building 5 times and come back in and take some deep breaths. That makes you feel good too, just to get up and to go for a walk. Or I'm going to call my friend at this time because she makes me laugh and that helps me feel better. Whatever you need to do, you know what works best for you. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you need to try some new things and just try and see what works best for me. Maybe at that time listening to affirmations would help me because it would make me feel more positive. Whatever you need to do, there's so many great tools out there. Maybe you need to do a quick emotional freedom technique tapping, an EFT tapping energy, or getting rid of negativity or whatever. There's so many different great tappings out there. But be intentional. Use the tools that are there and be present in your life. You don't want to miss what's going on. And the more intentional and present you can be in your life, the more you are aware of all of the beautiful blessings that are around you and all the gifts that the universe is trying to give you. Because I truly feel like the universe is always gifting us. We just don't always see it because we're too busy. We're in that autopilot mode where we're just looking straight ahead with our blinders on. We're not seeing what's all around us. And also, I feel like the universe is always trying to guide us and give us the wisdom that we need and the clarity that we need for our lives, but many of us don't see it because we're too busy. We're not paying attention. So being more intentional and showing up more consistently in your life is going to help you connect more to your intuition and to receive more guidance and wisdom from the universe. So start being intentional. Start every day doing those little things to help you show up more consistently in your life. If you do, I think you're going to start seeing amazing things. And you're worth it. The universe wants to bless you with abundance. It's time to start being more intentional with what you're doing so that you can see and notice and have gratitude for all the things the universe wants to bring you. All right, guys, so I pulled 2 cards for you today. Before I read those cards to you, though, I want to remind you, if you want to join me on Patreon, the link is in the show notes. You will get 2 extra episodes of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness a week. And whenever I have a guest that I interview, I also upload the videos of the interviews to my Patreon page, and you can see those. And if you also go for the all-exclusive tier, which is the top tier, you will also get readings and guided meditations. I throw those on my Patreon page as well. I would love to have you there. So go and join me. Again, the link is in the show notes. Click on it. You can join me over there. You can also still purchase your own podcast merchandise. I have t-shirts, glasses, mugs, coffee cups. They all have sayings from my podcast as well as the podcast logo. The link for that is also in the show notes. You can go there, click on it. And if you want to work with me, you can also go to melissaoatman.com. The link is in the show notes. You can see how you can work with me. I do readings, coaching, past life regression, and Reiki. And I would love to work with you. You can also book a free discovery call with me to see how I might best be able to serve you. All right, guys. So the 2 cards I pulled is from the Soul Truth deck by Brianne Hovey. And it is, first one, am I consistently showing up? Some trade their dreams for comfort, yet comfort is the enemy of progress. Success requires showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, and even when it feels uncomfortable. It takes guts and an endless vision to stay consistent to your dreams. Today's soul action is journal where you can be more consistent in your life and alignment with your soulful goals. Then show up. I love that. All right, and the second card is, how can I be more flexible right now? What are you trying to control? Maybe it's time to let go. Let love move through you today and trust the outcome will be for your highest good. Today's soul action is remind yourself all day long that you are safe, that life is happening for you, and that you are not alone. Then do some yoga. Do some yoga or do some other kind of exercise if you're like me and don't really connect that much to yoga. Again, I wish I did, but I just don't, so I do other things. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here with me today. As always, if you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please leave a positive review from wherever you're listening. You can leave me some stars on iTunes. I want to thank you so much for following me, and as always, I hope you're having a beautiful day from wherever you're listening. And I am sending you guys so much love and light. I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.